Hi, this is an overview of the timeline assignment. First of all, you note that there's not an assignment objective linked to this one. This is an assignment that's meant to help you plan out your semester, basically. So in a way, it kind of links to all the objectives, but there's not one that's directly tied to it. So I'm going to scroll down here. What I've done is I've given you a chart of all the assignments that are due for this semester. This is also on your syllabus. And I've given you proposed due dates. So I went through, I looked at the calendar, I looked at how much needs to be done, I kind of judged about how long it might take people to complete each assignment, and I gave a proposed due date. You do not have to follow most of these proposed due dates. You might have something going on a certain weekend, maybe there's a very busy week at school, you know there's something going on and this due date would be hard for you to achieve. So you can either move it earlier or later as long as you follow certain guidelines. So you'll notice right here, this is the proposed due date, and that's what's on your syllabus. And then underneath that in bold, I said any special requirements you might have. So for the IRB reflection, you have to have this done before you do anything else. Although if you want the Section 1 assignment, you could have those both due on the same day as I have on my proposed due date. So that's up to you. So you go through each thing. Here's the proposed due date in bold, any special thing that you have to keep in mind. Going down to the section chapter activities, as I mentioned in the syllabus overview, you can change the order that you would like to complete these. This is my suggested order just based on what I'm anticipating your needs will be, but that's up to you. Some things need to be done in a certain order. The annotated bibliography, that definitely needs to be done before you do your review of the literature and action research proposal. So you want to do the annotated bibliography first. After that, you're going to have your review of the literature, and you have to have that done before you can do the action research proposal. So the annotated bibliography, the review of the literature, and the action research proposal have to be done in this sequence. And if I were you, I'd also leave a little bit of time in between so that you can get my feedback. Once you turn in the bibliography, I'm going to give you feedback on that you can then use to write a more effective review of the literature. And your review of the literature is a portion of your research proposal, so you'll definitely want my feedback on that so that you can make any corrections and get the most points possible on the proposal. So once you look this over and look at your calendar and decide when you would think that you want to have things turned in, you're going to complete this timeline assignment template for me. So this is, you have the assignment. I just copied and pasted the proposed due date with requirements. In this column, you're going to put your particular due date. So if you think the 24th is fine, just rewrite that. When you get down to this box, this is the order that I proposed. You can change these around. If you think Chapter 9 should go up here, go ahead, cut and paste it, whatever you want, and just put the due date for each one of these assignments in there. Annotated bibliography, same thing. So you're just going to go through here and you're going to put your due dates. I'm going to keep scrolling down here, and here is the rubric for the assignment. What I'd like you to do when you turn in your timeline, I'd like you to judge, did you follow these directions? So you're turning in part 1 first, and so you would look through, yep, I did my timeline, all requirements are met, I submitted by this date, highlight this and bold. And then what I will do when I do your grade is I will underline, and so we can see what your perception was, what my perception was, and it makes it a little bit easier to communicate that way. If needed, I also write notes in here, and I usually do that in a different color so you can see what my notes are. Part 2 is not due until the very end of the semester, so don't worry about that yet. At the end of the semester, though, I will look and see, did you complete all assignments according to your submitted timeline? So think about that, because if you say that you're going to turn something in on the 24th and you don't turn it into the 30th, that's going to count against you, and you will lose these 75 points. This is an all or nothing. So either you turned everything in on time, or you might have missed one thing, or maybe even everything. So if you didn't turn something in on time, you would lose your points on that. So do want to pay attention to due dates and watch your calendar to make sure that you can get things done on time. But also, you want to spread stuff out a little bit. You don't want everything due at the end, because then you're not going to get the feedback from me that you need. So keep those things in mind and let me know if you have any questions.